If you want a flatter, tighter stomach, the plank might be the most underrated exercise you're doing wrong. The front plank is an excellent exercise to flatten the belly, but many people make common mistakes and end up not getting the results they want. What's interesting about the plank is that you can do it anywhere. You only need your body and the floor. And I'm pretty sure you'll always have your body, at least while you're alive, and the floor exists almost everywhere. The front plank actively works different abdominal muscles compared to traditional crunches. When you do crunches, whether focusing on the upper or lower abs, there is movement, and the main muscle doing the work is the rectus abdominis, with some help from the obliques. But when you perform the front plank, the focus shifts to the transverse abdominis, the deepest muscle in your entire abdominal wall. Its fibers run horizontally, and when they contract, they pull everything inward. That means this exercise doesn't just help flatten your stomach, it also makes your waist narrower, because this muscle works like a natural belt around your body. The plank heavily recruits the core. Think about it. Your arms are supported, your legs are supported, but the middle of your body isn't. Gravity wants your midsection to collapse downward. So the deep abdominal muscles must contract hard to suspend and keep the entire body straight. That's exactly why someone over 100 kilos struggles much more with a plank than someone who weighs 60 kilos. There's simply much more weight trying to pull the body down. Now let's talk about the first common mistake, which is arm position. You can do the plank with your hands on the floor, but moving to the forearms is usually more comfortable and removes unnecessary concerns. When you place your forearms down, pay attention to your elbow position. If your elbows are too far forward, you increase abdominal demand, but also recruit extra muscles like the chest and back, which start helping too much. To keep the work focused on the abs, your elbows should be directly under your shoulders. If your elbows drift backward, you increase shoulder strain, and your shoulders may fatigue before your abs, and the goal here is abdominal work. Arm width should be whatever feels comfortable to you. But again, elbows should stay under the shoulders. Your hands can be open, closed, or resting together. That's personal comfort. Next, we move to the feet. You start with your forearms on the ground, and although being on your knees makes the plank easier, the real plank begins when you support yourself only on the tips of your feet. At this point, your body is supported only at the front and back extremities, which dramatically increases core demand. Now we reach the second major mistake: hip position and spinal alignment. The plank is actually a preventive exercise for spinal issues, especially the lower back, but only if done correctly. If your hips drop too low, you overload the lumbar spine. If they're too high, the exercise becomes too easy. The goal is to keep the entire body aligned while maintaining the natural curves of the spine, lumbar, thoracic, and cervical. Your spine should be neutral, not flat, not arched excessively. Head position matters too. If you look forward, you overload the neck. Looking sideways can twist your body without you noticing, because the body naturally follows the direction of the eyes. You can briefly check alignment, but then return your head to neutral and look down, allowing the entire spine to stay aligned. Fixing these errors already gives you a solid plank, but now we move into details most people don't even know, and this is where intensity skyrockets. Let's talk about knee position. Many people keep their knees slightly bent, and while that's not necessarily wrong, extending the knees and engaging the quadriceps significantly increases abdominal activation. You'll immediately feel the abs start to shake. Bent knees make the exercise easier, so if your goal is optimal results, extend them. Another common mistake that makes the plank too easy is hip compensation. When people push their hips upward, they shift the load to the spine instead of the muscles, which increases injury risk. To fix this, you need to create the opposite force. Rotate the pelvis slightly backward, as if tucking the tailbone under. Imagine a bear tuck. This small movement massively increases core engagement. Now we move to the shoulder blades. Most people keep the scapulae spread apart, which shifts work toward the chest. By slightly drawing the shoulder blades together, you reduce chest involvement and force the abs to do more work. With arms aligned, feet on the toes, knees extended, pelvis tucked, spine neutral, and scapulae engaged, the plank becomes extremely effective. But there's one final advanced tip. Actively pull your abdomen inward, as if trying to touch your belly button to your spine. This deep abdominal retraction turns the plank into a brutal core exercise and gives you far more control over your abdominal wall. If you apply all of this correctly, your core will become stronger, more stable, and your stomach visibly flatter over time. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your training, and until next time, keep moving, my friends.